have you ever wondered why bad habits just repeat themselves, like completely effortlessly over and over again? While good habits, no matter how much sheer willpower we throw at them, just fail to stick. It's literally so frustrating, right? You set a big goal, you get super motivated, and then a week later, you're right back where you started. But what if I told you the problem actually isn't you? Seriously, it's not your desire to change. The real culprit is the underlying system your brain automatically uses to process behavior. And today, we are going to expose exactly how that system works. So, today we're unpacking that hidden system. We're diving deep into the core framework of James Clear's incredible methodology, specifically focusing on the famous habit loop and the 4 laws of behavior change. By the time we wrap up this explainer, you're going to have the exact blueprint to rewire your daily routines and finally take back control from the autopilot running your life. Welcome back to the Tatprya channel. Now, as you probably know, this is our continuous series covering the groundbreaking book, Atomic Habits. If you haven't caught our previous chapter's explainer yet, I really got to recommend pausing right here. The link is available down in the description and right up there in the I button. It is absolutely crucial that you check that out first before continuing with this explainer, just so you have the proper foundation for everything we're about to cover today. Okay, all set? Let's get right into it. Section 1, the 4-step habit loop. Okay, so what you're looking at here is a 4-step neurological feedback loop. And this loop, it governs literally every single habit you have. It goes cue, craving, response, and reward. And your brain runs through these steps in the exact same order every single time. First up is the cue. The cue is a trigger. It tells your brain to kick off a behavior because it predicts some kind of reward. Think about our prehistoric ancestors. They were constantly scanning for cues that meant primary rewards, like food and water. But today, our cues predict secondary rewards, like money, status, or maybe just approval from our peers. Next, we have the craving. This is the motivational force behind the habit. Look, without craving a change in your internal state, you really have no reason to act at all. Third is the response, which is just the actual habit or action you perform. And finally, the response delivers a reward. Rewards are the ultimate end goal of every habit because they satisfy our cravings and, more importantly, they teach our brain which actions are actually worth remembering for the future. And we can actually split this endless 4-step loop into 2 distinct phases, the problem phase and the solution phase. The problem phase is made up of the cue and the craving. Basically, this is the exact moment you realize something needs to change. You experience a cue in your environment and boom, you immediately feel a craving to do something about it. Then comes the solution phase, which includes the response and the reward. This is where you actually take action and achieve the outcome you were looking for. What's crazy is that your brain is continuously doing this. It's scanning the environment, predicting what's going to happen next, trying out different responses, and learning from the results. And it all happens in a fraction of a second, completely under the radar of your conscious mind. Wild, right?
Moving on to Section 2, Laws of Behavior Change.
So how do we actually take those 4 steps and turn them into a practical framework we can use? Well, enter the 4 laws of behavior change. To create a good habit, each law lines up perfectly with a step in the loop. You want to make the cue obvious, make the craving attractive, make the response easy, and make the reward satisfying. Simple enough, right? But here's the best part. To break a bad habit, you just invert those exact same laws. Make the cue invisible, the craving unattractive, the response difficult, and the reward unsatisfying. If you've ever wondered why you just can't seem to say, lose weight, or stop smoking, or save money, the answer is literally sitting right here in these levers. If your environment fights against human nature, your new habit is going to fail. But if you position these levers correctly, creating good habits actually becomes nearly effortless.
Section 3, Real-Life Habit Examples. Let's walk through an everyday example that I'm sure most of us are pretty intimately familiar with, the text message loop. Imagine your phone buzzes with a new message. That right there is your cue. The problem phase has officially begun. Instantly, you want to know what that message says, right? That's the craving. You're motivated to act. So you shift into the solution phase. Your response is grabbing the phone and reading the text. And the reward? You satisfy that initial craving to read the message. Now, grabbing your phone is neurologically linked with your phone buzzing. This entire 4-step loop happens so fast and so automatically that you don't even pause to think about it. You just do it. And this perfectly illustrates how we can proactively shape a good habit over time, rather than just relying on sheer willpower. Take the goal of becoming an early riser. You don't just magically jump to waking up at 6 a.m. You have to shape it by mastering the decisive moments leading up to it. So phase 1 might just be getting home by 10 p.m. every night. That's it.
Once you've got that down, phase 2 is making sure all your devices are turned off by 10 p.m. Phase 3, actually being in bed by 10 p.m. Phase 4 is lights off. And then finally, phase 5 is waking up at 6 a.m. every day. By applying the laws of behavior change, you're essentially reducing friction. You're making each tiny step easy, naturally shaping your environment and your responses to practically guarantee the right behavior.
Section 4. Implementation and next chapter.
I really want to leave you with this powerful thought from the book. It's known as the cardinal rule of behavior change, and it goes like this. What is immediately rewarded is repeated. What is immediately punished is avoided. This quote is absolutely crucial for understanding habit retention. Basically, to get a habit to stick, you need to feel immediately successful, even if it's in a super small way. Those first 3 laws, making it obvious, attractive, and easy, they increase the odds that you'll perform a behavior this time. But making it satisfying, that 4th law, that's what increases the odds that you'll repeat it next time.
Thank you so much for checking out this explainer. I truly believe you now have a solid understanding of how this chapter works and exactly how to implement these habit loops into your own life to see some truly remarkable results. But I want to hear from you. Drop a comment down below with your thoughts about this explainer and let us know your specific implementation plans. Like, what habit are you going to build or break using these 4 laws? Let us know. And hey, remember, the next chapter we cover is going to be incredibly important because we'll be diving deep into the tactical strategies of the first law, making it obvious. So make sure you hit that subscribe button for the Tatparya channel right now so you get the next chapter update the second it drops. Until then, ask yourself, what is the autopilot in your brain craving right now, and who is really in control?